Yeah. Okay, cool. Very good morning, America. Good evening, India. Today I am in the 22nd episode of Sense with Sam. Today we are going to talk about social justice, which is part of the Nyaya Patra, the blueprint for future democracy of India. So we are trying to do this as part of the series of talks what we did with Sense with Sam on the Sense with Sam episodes. The idea of democracy. We think the Nyaya Patra is the idea of future democracy. So today we have author Frank Huzur who is with us, who have written multiple books, and journalist Vijaylakshmi Nadar. And we have two interesting other personalities, Dr. Soma Ilangovan, who is the founder of Periyar International, a champion of social justice, one of the Tamil thought leader, and
Good.
also Ramkumar, one of the Dalit leader, who used to be the president of Ambedkar International Center, who is the only organization have found a big statue for Ambedkar in America. So we have
Great.
got all these elite people with us today who are going to talk, who are going to rip apart more than bouquets. We want the brickbats of what Congress can do better on social justice in case if we come to power after June 4th. We will try to talk about do a small reading session also if possible on some of the assurances of the Nyaya Patra on social justice. But I'll let Sam Petroda do a quick maybe introduction and then we'll take it from there. Go ahead, Sam. Good morning, Sam.
Thanks, Sean, and welcome everyone. I'm delighted that you are keeping the tradition on, and I'm delighted that many people, prominent people with excellent background, are participating in today's conversation. And I hope you'll continue these conversations even after elections, because these kinds of conversations are very important, especially for young to learn and for domain experts to share their knowledge. And only by sharing knowledge we can multiply knowledge. So thank you, Sean, for the initiative. Uh, to me, Congress Party manifesto is a superb document. I was talking to Rahul Gandhi last night, and we talked a little bit about manifesto, and he said, Sam, it really came out well, especially when you have a large number of people involved in the process. You're trying to compromise many things, and at times the end product goes through too many changes, and it's difficult to keep the real message at the core. So we both felt that this document is indeed a very special document. I've been involved in Congress Manifesto since mid-80s, and I can tell you I'm very proud of this document because it goes into specific details. It sort of focuses on all the challenges India is facing today, right from bringing democracy back on track to rebuilding institutions, independence, autonomy, focusing on media to make it more balanced, independent, which it is not today. I see it every day on national media, all kinds of comments. I mean, I have seen what media has gone through about Rahul Gandhi selecting a seat in Raebareli versus Amethi. The bottom line is it is a choice between the party, individual, and party people. I don't know why people from outside have so many opinions about what Rahul Gandhi should do and should have done, and why national media keeps talking with their own angle. But that's the kind of environment we have created in last 10 years. So the key element in the manifesto is all about social justice. I can tell you from my brief journey in India as a OBC person, right after independence, there was a different mood. The mood was upbeat, and I found very little discrimination at that time. But I know things have changed. But the opportunities given to someone like me was phenomenal. I always tell people that I got my master's in physics for less than $10 total fee, because the education was almost free in my generation. All the rich guys from IITs and IIMs today, who are making millions and controlling all kinds of assets, got their education in India basically free. And when the same people criticize about what Congress did, what Nehru did, I get amazed and puzzled. So social justice is an important issue. It is the most important issue, not only in India, but globally. Here you talk to some of the immigrants or African Americans, and you will understand what social justice is all about from their perspective. I mean, I know that in US in Chicago, Illinois, there are hundreds of people who can't come up with $500 bond, and they are languishing in local prisons. That is also social justice. You go to our prisons and you will find all the poor people, lower caste people hanging around because they don't have money to fight courts. So social justice comes in many different forms and colors and uh, places. So I'm glad that this manifesto talks a great deal about social justice, about bhagidari, about proper representation of OBC, Dalits, minorities. And it is not about snatching from somebody to give somebody else. I'm told that Prime Minister gave a lecture in Gujarat where he talked about taking your bhais and cows. So I think this kind of misrepresentation, noise, lies are confusing the issue of social justice. Social justice is a very serious matter. Ask people who have been done injustice, and they will tell you. And there are many. I'm glad today we have experts to talk about it. I want to learn and listen, and want to compliment you all for keeping the tradition alive. Thank you. Thank you. I can't hear you guys.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Thanks, Sam, and thanks for the introduction and context. And we will have all of these speakers talk about social justice. Virender, I will come back to you maybe at the before maybe middle to talk about hear your viewpoints on a Congress perspective on social justice, what we are offering for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, caste census, etc. Maybe even I can start with you where we can give at least 2 minutes of brief on the our assurances. Priyamada, maybe I will also come to questions. More than questions, we thought we'll have a discussion, as Sam said. So it's going to be more of a discussion. You can also chime in questions because we have got Dalit leaders, social justice leaders here, and also journalists and authors. So you can also pop in questions, Priyamada. But I'll just maybe get the ball rolling. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll start with Virender Vashishta. Virender Vashishta, I'm unmuting you. All of you can unmute yourself if you want. Okay, maybe just be mindful that in case if you are having any other thing, just silence your window. Frank, I'm muting you because there is some noise. So when you speak, you can unmute yourself, or I can help you unmute. So I'll start with Virender Vashisht. Virender Vashisht, why don't you quickly start, and then let's hear from you what Congress is offering on social justice as through assurances. Let's start with you. Go ahead.
शान सैम सबको मेरा नमस्कार। कांग्रेस पार्टी का सोशल जस्टिस से जो संबंध है वो आजादी से पहले से भी है, आजादी के बाद भी है। आप सबको समझना पड़ेगा कि आखिर ऐसा हुआ क्यों। इस देश का जो ताना बाना था वो इस प्रकार से था कि कुछ लोगों को ही एक मूलभूत अधिकारों के साथ जीने का अधिकार था। सबको जीने का अधिकार नाम की चीज थी नहीं। अगर इसको कोई सुनना ना चाहे तो वो किसी भी दिल्ली से आज भी 100 किलोमीटर दूर जाकर समझ सकता है कि एक गरीब, दलित, पिछड़े, वंचित को किस प्रकार का भेदभाव होता है। आज कांग्रेस पार्टी आजादी की लड़ाई में भी भेदभाव खत्म करने के लिए गांधी जी ने आंदोलन किया, और आज भी भाजपा को दिक्कत किससे हुई है मैनिफेस्टो में, क्यों कांग्रेस जातिगत जनगणना करना चाहती है। हमने वादा कर दिया कि हिस्सेदारी देंगे, सबको उसकी भागीदारी के हिसाब से हिस्सेदारी। केवल कुछ चुनिंदा लोगों के लिए भारत नहीं है, इसमें सबको सम्मान से जीने का जो संविधान ने हक दिया है, अधिकारों के साथ लड़ने की ताकत और अपने सम्मान के लिए कर गुजरने की ताकत। जो पिछले 10 साल जिसको कि हमने अब अन्याय काल कह दिया है, ये सब कांग्रेस की एश्योरेंस रहेगी कि किसी भी, आपने देखा होगा कि पिछले 10 साल में फिर वही होने लगा। दलित आदिवासी के ऊपर पेशाब करने लगे हैं लोग, उनके साथ केवल वो एक जाति से संबंध रखते हैं, इसलिए अमानवीय व्यवहार उनके साथ किया जाता है। इस अमानवीय व्यवहार के खिलाफ अगर लड़ना बगावत है तो कांग्रेस ने हमेशा ये बगावत की है। गांधी जी के नेतृत्व में हम श्रमदान स्टार्ट किया, गांधी जी के नेतृत्व में हमने, आजकल वो मैं शब्द जब वो कहा जाता था वो भी अब हट गया है तो मैं नहीं बोलूंगा, दलित मलिन बस्तियों में जाके कांग्रेस वर्कर को काम करना होता था। कांग्रेस राजनैतिक विचारधारा के साथ साथ एक सामाजिक उत्थान की भी विचारधारा है। आप सबको समझना पड़ेगा कि आज मनुवादी ताकतों को प्रॉब्लम कहां हो रही है, कांग्रेस का मैनिफेस्टो उनको तंग क्यों कर रहा है। कांग्रेस का मैनिफेस्टो इसलिए तंग कर रहा है कि 10 साल में जो नौकरियां खत्म करके दलित वर्ग को, ओबीसी वर्ग को अगर जीने का अधिकार, समाज में आगे उठने का अधिकार मिला तो केवल कांग्रेस की नीतियों के कारण मिला।
Thank you, Virender. And
शान भाई मेरे
yeah,
साथ
go ahead.
मेरे मित्र थे। मैं ये पुराना आपको बताता हूँ, जेएनयू से पहले आज वो कांग्रेस पार्टी में सेक्रेटरी भी हैं। अगर वो आरक्षण, ओबीसी आरक्षण, हमने शैक्षणिक आरक्षण नहीं दिया जाता तो उनका एडमिशन नहीं हो पाता। आज वे, आप लोगों को शिक्षा का अधिकार नहीं मिलेगा जो अंबेडकर जी ने कहा।
Sure. Thanks a lot. I think that's a great introduction. I'm looking forward to hear the. Sorry, Virender.
शिक्षित बना,
I think we are hearing some trouble. Your voice is losing out, Virender.
इसीलिए हर क्षेत्र में हिस्सेदारी।
Virender, we are losing your voice. Okay.
Can you hear me?
No, I think your voice is breaking. Maybe I'll come back to you again. Is that okay? if you are okay. I'll go to one round of a conversation and come back to you. Is that okay? That is a very important point what you mentioned. It's on this assurances and stuff, and how Congress is doing. It's phenomenal to hear what is Congress looking forward. Thanks a lot, Virender. Is that okay, Virender?
Yeah, आप मेरे को सुन पा रहे हैं? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You want to quickly sum up, and I'll go to one round. Yeah.
हाँ, या शान, हम इस पैनल में ही हमारे पास सैम अपने आप में एक उदाहरण है कि ओबीसी वर्ग के व्यक्ति को अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी की नीतियों से रास्ते नहीं मिले होते तो आज क्या उनको मौका मिल पाता? गरीबी और किस प्रकार का भेदभाव होता है उसका एक्सपीरियंस सब लोगों को है, फिर भी लोग छुपाना चाहते हैं। मैं केवल इसमें कांग्रेस पार्टी के हमारे जननायक राहुल गांधी जी, खड़गे जी और समस्त कांग्रेस पार्टी का धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं। जातिगत जनना से ही गरीबों को हक मिलेगा। जो आदमी जातिगत जनना के खिलाफ है, ये मान के चलो वो मनुवादी है। वो नहीं चाहता कि एक गांव का, शहर का गरीब, एसआई या जिनको वंचित रखा गया है उनको अधिकार मिले। इसीलिए कांग्रेस ने जातिगत जनना, हर चीज में एश्योरेंस, शैक्षणिक हर चीज की एश्योरेंस मिलेगी। नौकरी, बीजेपी सरकार ने सरकारी नौकरियों को खत्म करने का केवल टारगेट क्यों है? केवल एससी, एसटी और ओबीसी के वर्ग के लोगों को हिस्सेदारी ना मिल पाए। तो कांग्रेस पार्टी ने इस बार, आप पूरा चुनाव देखो, केवल हमारे मैनिफेस्टो की ही चर्चा है, क्योंकि बीजेपी ने खुद तो कुछ किया ही नहीं है, नरेंद्र मोदी ने खुद कुछ नहीं किया है। इसलिए ये एश्योरेंस के साथ आप सब पैनल में बहुत अच्छे, ऑल आर गुड लीडर्स, तो आप लोग फैसला करें। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Thank you, Jai Bhim. So I'll start with, in fact, with Ramkumar, who is a Dalit leader, who was the president of Ambedkar International Center. I think you are unmuted, Ramkumar. So I want to hear your perspectives on caste census, and also, what are you thinking? What do you think Congress is bringing to the table? What has happened over the past 10 years as a Dalit leader? And also, I want you to tell about how you know Sam. Also, your small bit of the CDOT history. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning and Jai Bhim. And thank you, Shan, giving me the opportunity talking with so many eminent speakers and experts here. Briefly about me, I am the founding member.
Sam's smile is increasing when he heard the word as CDOT. They are trying to remove his name from the CDOT's history.
No, I think nobody will accept that one, because that was the dream job. I frankly speaking, I owe to that institute CDOT, where everyone who joined CDOT, basically who could not join, they were dreaming, gosh, we could have joined it. And when we joined, all of our new engineers just wanted to see that if we can see Sam once in the office there, man, our career ambition is fulfilled. That was the craze at the time. And I really owe my career to him, because that was the place where I started. I ended up in the US there. And some more brief introduction. So I'm the founding member of Ambedkar International Center and had been the president there, part of the anti-caste discrimination movement last year there. So I led my organization in that case. And in personal career, as you might have heard, I am in the technology sector here, living in the US for a long time. And I highly agree what Sam Saab said in the in the beginning of the talk there. I echo to every word there, that at that time, a person like me living in a remote village of Western UP, who could not afford a good bicycle to go to the school, the high school was 10, 11 kilometers away, who could come to, go to the higher education institutions like the IIT and work in the premier institutions in the US. It was all because of the education system, which was easily available and affordable. And that was not just, some miracle there. It was the planned policy of the former government and the leaders there. And I think we all owe to that one. I see my relatives, my friends there in India right now, a big number of the youths wandering jobless and no hope. And after that, if we talk that, hey, just go to the higher education, maybe you get another degree, there's chance you may get some job there, but they say who will pay for the degree there? We cannot afford it. And that is the sad bitter reality. And this thing, when we go to the deeper level for the social justice there, and when I saw that Rahul Gandhi ji talking about the caste census, I highly admired, because that is the root cause. Caste is the root cause of what kind of disparity, exploitation, extreme poverty, bias justice we see there, and we cannot ignore. If there is a serious problem somewhere, ignoring that is basically hypocrisy. We have to talk it, find the ways there. And if there is a data, let this data come out, how the governments wants to tackle this is the next step there. At least first be ready, and that is the step we really appreciate. And I think every social justice loving person should agree that, hey, the extreme poverty, denial of the justice there, education, infant mortality, rape, or any kind of the severe problems associated to the caste there, and you cannot ignore it. That is the reality. Talking big words like Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, to the outsider, that hey, we welcome everybody like a family, we are open heart, the big heart people. No, but have you ever seen inside the family how you are treating your own family member, your own people, like based on the caste? And that is the bitter truth there. And when we talk the caste census, it was long due, and finally, it is being talked there. And we hope it is not just the election thing; it is really implemented, because every day we will see there, especially when we talk about the Dalits there, the the social media news there, because the main stream channels, I think they are busy in talking some propaganda things there. Every day there are multiple news, either some Dalit woman, some poor lady raped there, some child killed because of something. And just today morning I got some message from another channel there, that in Maharashtra some youth was dancing on the stage there, and he was Dalit, and because being a Dalit he was beaten naked and he committed suicide because of that. Recent news I just saw this morning there. Every day we see this news. And why? Because there is something, the evil caste associated with them. And this, the Rohit Vemula case, we can see there, the justice was denied because they started misguiding whether he was a OBC, whether he was a Dalit. Hey, the young, brilliant youth, he was murdered, systematically murdered. And then you are diverting this based on the caste. So let this caste census be done. Find out, hit the root cause, and that is the caste. And that thing, I think that is the right, the direction. Now, whatever happened in the past, I don't care whether caste started 100 years ago, 1000, it's not, but what is it is at the present and where we are going right now. Unless we tackle this problem, we cannot talk about the social equity, social justice, because it is linked to this evil that is called caste there, and that's where it will never go away.
Thank you, Rama.
Thank you.
We will come back to you again. I think it's a great journey. What you started in back in India in CDOT, and now you are here. Continue championing social justice, even associating yourself with Ambedkar International Center, and founding the biggest statue for Ambedkar in the country, America. The place where he studied and tried building the constitution, or which is the blueprint of the country, which has guided the entire country for past maybe eight decades. It's phenomenal. I'm very happy. We'll come back to you next. I'm going to go to Dr. Soma Ilangovan. Sam, you want to say a quick hi about some CDOT stuff? Okay. Thank you. Okay, I'll go to now with
hello everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sean, and
Ilangovan.
thank you, Sam Patroda. Really appreciate that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. One quick introduction. Dr. Soma Ilangovan is a founder of Periyar International. I want him to speak the Periyar context of social justice, how Tamil Nadu can be the playbook for the whole country, which already Congress is clearly showing it in its manifesto that they are going to follow the model. Why don't you talk about that context, Soma Ilangovan, quickly, and then let's explore. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much. First, I have to appreciate what you are doing. It is the silence of the majority that is very important. I'm glad you are waking up the silent majority with this forum. It is our duty and responsibility to awaken them and tell them to take their responsibility on their shoulder and do some social work. That is very important. I'm glad you are doing it. I come from Tamil Nadu, and I have met great leader Kamarajar, and I have interacted with Periyar when I was even a young boy. I really appreciate, and I have seen the social justice movement right in front of my eyes for the last 75 years. The Tamil culture, ancient Tamil culture says, Pirapokkum ella uirkum. That means all lives are equal. That was a great Tamil ancient culture. Lady poets advised the kings on how to be moral and do good for the society. That was the society. And then it turned upside down and it became so bad. Social justice was not seen anywhere. It was injustice to the core. So 100 years ago, people who were educated in England, Bharat law and doctors and all that, they came back and they saw the status of Tamil Nadu and they all woke up. And then they started a movement for the education of the backward and other downtrodden people. Even the highly educated, even high caste Tamilians could not perform their doctors, their legal business because they were really not allowed. To get into a medical school in Tamil Nadu those days, you have to learn Sanskrit. If you don't know Sanskrit, you cannot go into medical school. That was the status. So this was all fought one by one, but tooth and nail. Every step took so many protests and movements. There were great leaders like T.M. Nair, Sareti Paneerselvam. They're all educated in England. And a great leader, Periyar. All his great education was up to the 4th grade. He says that his 4th grade graduation was written in the St. George Gazette in those days. At that stage, he could get any job like a village officer or anything like that. So he looked at his life right in front of his eyes. He saw the discrimination. And with the Justice Party leaders, he learned a lot, but he was working for the Congress. And in the Congress, the caste discrimination was so much, he tried to fight against it inside the Congress. But after several trials, he told them he will destroy the Congress and he will bring social justice as the walk of life in Tamil Nadu. And he did it in his own lifetime. That's the greatest achievement that we have to be proud of. But everything required so many protests. So many people went to jail. So many people lost their life. So we have to understand, now we are living comfortably in the air conditioned and cushions and all that. We are not willing to sweat a little bit. That's where we really have to focus. Social justice did not come easy. And what we are fighting for is not going to come easy. So we have to work on it. Yeah.
Dr. Soma, I have one question. How are you seeing this past 10 years of governance of Narendra Modi with respect to social justice? As a Tamil reformist, I want to hear your thought process. And what do you think Congress is bringing to the table and Rahul Gandhi, maybe in case if he becomes the Prime Minister of India? What do you think will happen?
Okay, that I'm coming to that. See, the Tamil social justice movement came and people from all walks of life were able to study. The great Kamaraj made the study and a lot of medical colleges, engineering colleges, and now you go every village, there are people in Australia, America, everywhere. So that all happened. And now they brought the NEET. With the NEET, the rural people could not afford to take the coaching and could not get into medical schools. So they destroyed, and they want to bring an educational system that is totally foreign to the Tamil culture. So they destroyed the education. So the admission rate has gone down so bad in the rural areas. Now I see I'm living in Cary, North Carolina. Here I see every village represented in Tamil Nadu. Doctors, engineers, and all that. In the last 10 years, the education system in Tamil Nadu has been so overcome by the central government policies of Modi government. The education has become so difficult. Now only the elite who can go to coaching schools can study and become doctors and engineers and all that. That is the problem now. So this social justice has been turned upside down, through the central government projects and central government things, and the Tamil Nadu government is fighting very hard to overcome all that and make it again a representative form of education and employment. The Congress manifesto, I want to emphasize two things. When Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi came back to India from South Africa, Gokhale, his mentor, told him to go to the villages to learn about India. Now Rahul Gandhi has walked all over and he has learned what India really is, and he has seen the social injustice in every part, everywhere. Now he is fighting. The last 10 years have been ruinous, destroyed. The arrogance, the killing of the democracy has destroyed everything that the Congress built in those days. Now we have to start again. The Congress manifesto has come so good that we have to work with them and make it a success in our lifetime and see the growth happen in the rural areas and the downtrodden and bring social justice as the way of life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think I am very glad to hear the Tamil reformist and by profession, Dr. Soma Ilangovan is a doctor, medical doctor, and in fact he credits the entire all his education stuff again for the social justice movements of Tamil Nadu and India. And also, I think I am very glad to hear the connection of Periyar with Congress. I think I always take a pride as a Tamil that the Congress was the bastion for creating some of these greatest reformers of the country, Periyar or Kamarajar, many great leaders and minds. So I will next go to Vijaylakshmi Nadar quickly. She's a journalist based out of US. She in fact supports Aam Aadmi Party, one of our India alliance. But I want to hear her perspective about what is this overall manifesto. Both bouquets as well as brickbats are welcome. Vijay over to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sean, thank you for inviting me. One of the first things I would like to first say before I get on to the Nyaya Pratra and the equity section of the Nyaya Pratra, one of the things I would like to say is this whole concept of social justice and reservation has been completely misunderstood. And over the years, somehow we have not educated the general population of why it's important. This whole thing that Modi has brought in the conversation about the 80-20, where he has, 80% Hindus and the 20% Muslims, the dialogue actually should be the 80-20 division within the majority community. Why social justice is important? Because 80% of the majority religion, the Hindus, fall in the OBC, SC, ST candidates and the economically backward classes. So, social justice is a subject which cannot be avoided. Unfortunately, this 80% which is suffering and which really requires a social justice is not represented in the media, in the educational institutions, everywhere. So the majority, the Brahminical classes which are dominating all the top positions in the country today, managed to create this thing that it's the reservation which has brought down the country. It is actually the reservation which has helped stabilize the economy of the country. So this part, I think, very few people know about this, and needs to be emphasized again and again. Can you all hear me? The whole screen has gone.
No, we can hear you.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. So I think that 80-20% population, that 80-20 division is what we need to focus on. Coming back to reservation, I think reservation needs to be relooked, because reservation helped in the beginning, in the 50s and the 60s, definitely has helped. But over the years, the pie from which the share has to be given, like reservation focuses on reservation in jobs, in government jobs and government institutions, but government jobs and government institutions themselves are dying. So it's like, I would like to give this example of two people sitting. totally hungry. There's two group of people sitting. One person receives a full roti, but the other person, the kitchen is completely over. He doesn't have roti, so somebody is trying to break the roti from one plate and giving it to the other person. So that's how reservation has become now. So instead of increasing the number of jobs, increasing the number of educational institutions, so that nobody suffers, neither that 20% Brahminical caste or the 80% OBC section, nobody suffers. So this is one thing I would like to give credit to Aam Aadmi Party for, is Congress gave the initial boost, but Aam Aadmi Party, by bringing in world-class institutions in Delhi for everybody, like they brought in institutions world-class. See what happens with previous governments, and I think this is where the Congress started the trend and other parties just followed, is we create separate projects for the poor and separate projects for the rich. When we create separate projects for the poor, the quality is low. That is why the benches were like, if we pick the students up from the ground and make them sit on a wooden bench, that is considered progress. When the benches could be rickety and the teachers would be unavailable, the educational, the media would be very poor quality. But that still helped millions like Mr. Sam Petroda and Ms. Dr. Ilangovan to come up in life. It has also helped me come up in life. But what Aam Aadmi Party has done is, bring in world-class institutions where the poor and the rich, like it's built for the poor, but the rich also feels the equal amount of pride to be sitting in that institutions. That, I believe, will give that extra boost to the reservation. I think in some period, if we start thinking in that thing, and that's where the Nyaya Patra, I like it, because it is taking a bit of that success and implementing at an all India level. If that happens, the reservation policy will not be made out to be as much as a villain as it is done today, especially by fans of Narendra Modi. Yes, Sean. Sean, your mic.
Sorry, Vijaylakshmi, I want to quickly hear about your background, about your father and some of his work, what he did in Mumbai. I want to quickly hear, maybe just 1 minute. Just go ahead.
Yes, okay. My father came to Mumbai when he was just 16. The movie Kala is based on his life. He landed up in Dharavi where, by mistake, instead of going to Burma, he landed in Mumbai. That was a scenario there. That's a long story, which I've explained in many interviews. But like Dr. He was highly inspired by Kamarajar, and he, in fact, started a school in the heart of Dharavi called Kamaraj Memorial High School. So, he provided opportunities again because he was a born and brought up congressman. He was a congressman all his life for 40, 45, 50 years. He believed that
He named you as Vijaylakshmi.
Yes. So, that's why my name is Vijaylakshmi, because he was so inspired by the Nehru family. My brother is Jawahar. We both are journalists. So, that's a long story. And then he was so inspired by Kamarajar that he started this school in the heart of Dharavi for people who had fled from Tirunelveli district, people who are very poor, from Salem district, from Tamil Nadu, all this Tamil population which landed in Dharavi looking for opportunities. My father provided them residence. He provided them a means of living. He also built the school because the two schools outside Dharavi were in the Sion area, SIES and SIWS, South Indian Education Society and South Indian Welfare Society. So they both were dominated by Brahmins, where they would not allow these poor Tamilians to enter those schools. So my father started this Dharavi school from scratch. That place was actually used to brew illicit liquor. So he captured that land, literally stuck just 4 pieces of wood, and this is my school. He gave opportunities to poor girls who were sitting at home, who were educated in Tamil Nadu, but they did not have employment opportunities in Mumbai because they could not speak either English fluently or Hindi. They couldn't speak Hindi at all. So he made them the first school teachers, and that's how the school has grown. Now I'm very happy to say it's a high school. It provides education, and through that school, many are all over the world. And when the movie Kahala was released, many people reached out to me and say, like, if it had not been for that school, we would not have got we would not be doing so well in life.
Okay,
from Dharavi.
I think Sam missed that part. Maybe Vijaylakshmi's father. Yeah, Vijaylakshmi's father has founded schools and did a lot of things in Dharavi ages ago, Sam. And he was a congressman. He named Vijaylakshmi because of Javahar's, and his name, her brother's name is Javahar, inspiring from Congress ideas.
Incident I would like to share in the early 1970s. You know, Dharavi was a notorious place where even the police didn't have much control. So it's my father who ensured that Indira Gandhi had a safe, rally in that area. And I think Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi were children, and she had brought the children them there. And my father had ensured that they have a very safe rally there.
Yeah.
So I wish I knew more about the incident, but I myself was a child then. So
No, but I am very glad to hear about the even Aam Aadmi perspective. What you said, I think, what are the different ways you guys tried doing some of the social justice. That's a very nice thing to hear. Now I'll go to Frank Huzur, and then Frank, what are your perspectives about this manifesto, Nyaya Patra, and social justice?
Thank you very much, San, and it's my pleasure and honor again to be here on the show. And again, I would say it's a pleasure to hear Sam Pitroda sir along with the eminent panel this evening. I must say, Congress manifesto has become the talking point across the country, and with social justice as the template of the Nyaya Patra, it has rattled the BJP, the ruling party. They are clueless with regard to promise in the manifesto for the OBCs and representation. And only out of their cluelessness, they started reacting to it in most outrageous manner. From Musalman to Mangal Sut, we all have been hearing how Prime Minister went into overdrive to confuse the entire nation. So this main template of caste census in the Congress manifesto, we must say this is the heart and soul of the manifesto. And in the 138 years of the history of Indian National Congress, the grand old party, never before, everyone is talking about this. The way mentor like Sam Pitroda sir has walked with much sensitivity, and the way Rahul Gandhi has evolved, the way his transformation has come out in the public, and this is mind-blowing. It has created a wave of hope in the OBC community, in the SC community, in the ST community. Precisely, we can say the 90% of Indian populace today is looking forward to seeing, a massive transformation. The social justice phenomena we have been witnessing in the past 40 years, especially in the Mandalite political era. So this is going to be a game changer in these elections. Game changer.
I have one question. You authored the biography of Mulayam Singh Yadav. So you must have learned a lot about Mandal Commission and bunch of things. What are your thinking that where Congress can go further? Personally, I see we have delivered 10x worth of impact, even by saying what we will do with the help of 23 assurances in the Nyaya Patra on the social justice equity aspect. Even I think there are brains like Sam Pitroda involved in this about naming this as a equity, and we kind of can see their thinking where it can go. Personally, I think there is 10x of things what Congress is going to do, even in case if we are going to come back to power on June 4th. And what are you thinking? Having did biography of some great people like Mulayam Singh Yadav. So and also being traveling in the bastions of Uttar Pradesh and stuff. Want to hear your perspective. What is the thinking on the ground, Frank? Okay, I'll unmute you. Give me a minute. Yeah, go ahead.
Very good question, Sam. Look, brother, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, especially these two provinces, if we include Jharkhand also, here is the Hindi heartland, and here is the laboratory of social justice. In these particular two provinces, we know if we look back past 3-4 decades, the socialist outfished the socialist parties, Samajwadi centered ideological parties, actually grew in response to Congress party a little bit of evasive stand on, you can say, reservation caste-based representation, and Mulayam Singh emergence or Lalu Prasad Yadav emergence, the socialist leaders emergence, is actually attributed to little bit of laxity in those 70s and 80s. However, now the situation has changed considerably on the ground as I see it. The era of Mulayam Singh is over. Lalu Prasad Yadav is also is almost not very active. His shadow of his former self. The new generation is in place, and the new generation of the socialist leadership has somewhere compromised on their hardcore for social justice, equity, or diversity, which is why BJP has gained ground. Uttar Pradesh became, a citadel of communal forces, only because of, there was ideological erosion in Samajwadi Party here, as I saw, and it has resulted in that.
What are your thoughts about Samaj Party now in alliance with India and Congress? So, what are your thoughts? Like, how are you seeing the UP Hindi heartland is reacting to this overall? Akhilesh Yadav, Rahul Gandhi, Congress manifesto, Nyaya Patra, etc.
Yeah, the alliance has kind of the OBC and Mandar Muslim electorates. It is gaining momentum. In the third phase, it will do better, of course. First and second round quite encouraging. The alliance is well received here, and the candidate selection, I would say, also quite good. The social diversity has been taken into good consideration. So good vibe is there. What I would like to emphasize over here, like this first part of equity, hissedari guy to the OBC segment, SC segment, to bring the 50% reservation cap. We can follow model like Tamil Nadu, 70% could go. But the main point I would like to make, from social justice to social transformation, what Kanshi would say and what Ambedkar Sahab would also say in certain way. So I would like Sam Pitroda sir to counsel Gandhi, like how to make social transformation as our ultimate objective, ultimate goal in the course of next decade or so. Because social transformation is the ultimate aim, ultimate objective, and the desire of the oppressed and depressed section of society over here. Social democracy, understand, we will have our share of representation in the status quo, but social transformation, the bottom up revolution is the need of the hour in this country. If we really want to establish an egalitarian society, if we really want to fight the cultural fascism, if we really want to get rid of the social capital of the minority population, that is the so-called upper caste, Brahminical oriented UC category. So social transformation, I would like the Grand Old Party to make its premier objective and make it like educate the common people as well. So that would be the real tribute to our social justice icons, our social justice revolutionary ancestors.
Thank you, Frank. I agree to you. In fact, Rahul has clearly told caste census and all these things are not just some political bandwagon for election. He said it is this is his lifetime mission. I strongly believe. In fact, I even though I have been writing against Narendra Modi and fascism and stuff since 2015, I saw this transformation during Bharat Jodo Yatra. He started empathizing with people, and as Dr.Soma Ilangovan pointed, I think how Mahatma Gandhi traveled across the country and saw this thing before even he became that champion of independence movement. He traveled across the country and saw the things. Likewise, I think this is the Rahul Gandhi 2.0 post Yatra and Bharat Jodo Yatra and Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra is phenomenal. I personally think whatever he speaks with respect to this caste census and bunch of things, see, in fact, to appease some good amount of electorate, he doesn't need to go into the deeps of it, but he's saying there is a huge amount of electorate who are not given very serious participation. That he doesn't even say that by word. He is living by it by producing one 48-page document which reflects it very clearly. The very manifesto 48-page document, the very first section after the forward, 23 assurances is on equity and social justice is the very first section. They are not talking about anything else. This is the very first section. He's saying these are the 23 things I am going to do as my day one job in case if I become the prime minister. He is not saying it. His document is saying that. So I personally believe even when he came to California, I think in one dinner with a community diaspora, Indian diaspora, I think when people were asking, a bunch of our Dalit leaders were asking, what is his thoughts? He very clearly quoted about the same thing, the same fact which he spoke in the parliament. How come there are this 93 chief secretaries or whatever this 90 chief secretaries of this government of India, out of which there is not even single zero participation of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and all these things, right? Some of the fact and statistics he showed, and even OBCs. So how come there can be domination of one particular caste and elite, and which is deploying the money for the country? I think he spoke long ago. I think even a year before even he started speaking on the roads and in the parliament, right? When he came to California here. So I think I strongly believe, and I think when he came to California, I literally told he's a living Buddha. I think because he follows some bit of Dhamma and things. And I don't know, I may be taken for a ride if I make this statement, but I don't have any hesitation because the country is going to see, in case if they are giving the opportunity to Rahul Gandhi, he is the living Ambedkar. He will make the change what all of us are looking forward for the country is what my belief is. Anyway, I'll go to quickly to Priyamata to hear her perspective as a young leader. Go ahead, Priyamata. You can unmute yourself. You can talk about what you think on this whole thing. Yeah, go ahead, Priyamata.
Thank you, Sean, and thank you, esteemed panel, for having me here. Hello to sir. Mike, like I believe that the Congress has been in the current manifesto. It is like a breakthrough with the social justice, what they have done with equity, and Congress has been the champion of social justice for the past years, but nobody took it seriously. But because of PM's recent speech about Mangal Sutra, like snatching away Mangal Sutra and giving it to Muslims, everyone has now downloaded the Congress manifesto, and it's the highest downloaded manifesto like this year, like this elections. So it's a really a breakthrough for Congress party. But my question to all the esteemed panel is that in spite of all this, like with so much detail, if you go through the current manifesto, what Congress has done, like for the backward communities, the underprivileged, still we find that the issue of Ram Mandir 370, this narrative still lingers in, if you see across the spectrum, you see that the benefits of this social justice is not actually reaching the actual people who need it. That is my experience, what I've come through social media. If you see their narrative, like BJP's narrative, it's always that, oh, they're going to snatch away your rights and giving it to the other people. So it's like always like we versus them. So people don't actually understand that until and unless you raise the bottom, you can't progress. Like India won't be able to progress and put itself on the world map if you don't lift everyone and you take them together. So this point of thing, people are failing to understand in our country. So I don't know how to bridge this gap, and also like how all these benefits, they are not being transferred to the actual, like you see if many of my friends, they don't know about it. If I speak to my house help, she didn't know about it. Like, all this is there in Congress manifesto. So I don't know, like, what is lacking so that, this is spread across, because this is a big challenge. If we don't overcome this in this election, then, as Rahulji said, that they are planning to even maybe change the constitution. So uh, I just need everyone your thoughts, like, why
Sure.
is it, what is lacking with us as
Sure.
in the party? Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, Sean, if you
Yeah.
don't mind,
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
that
Yeah.
yeah, I would like to take that. Premvada, one of the first thing is, like, Narendra Modi keeps focusing on the 80-20 division, the Hindu
Yeah.
Muslim thing, and to cover up the 80-20 division within the majority community. The 80% is dominated by the OBCs, 20% are the ones Brahmin, the top class, upper caste Brahmins and all. Now they are the ones who are governing the media. They are the ones who are the bureaucrats. They are the ones who have so they do not want reservation to be in place. One of the big failures, I believe, of reservation is because the pie that we are fighting is getting smaller and smaller. Instead of increasing many pies, instead of increasing the kitchen, we are taking the food away from people's plates. And that's why the majority, the Brahminical class, has been able to make reservation the villain of the whole piece. And as long as the top class keeps dominating the media narrative, we will not be heard. In Delhi, this whole thing's the equity, 90% of what is stated in the Congress manifesto is already in action in Delhi. Only Delhiites are experiencing it, and that's why they keep bringing Aam Aadmi Party over and over again. That is why your domestic help has not seen it, because till she sees it in action, people have not seen it in action for 50 years, 70 years, 80 years since independence. Till they actually see it in action, they won't believe it. Arvind Kejriwal believes that, what, if we give everybody everything, we increase the number of schools, instead of increasing reservation within one generation, this problem of reservation will be solved. Because the more the people are educated, they will find jobs on their own. They will not keep relying on government jobs. The quality of education right now in government schools is so poor that they have no option but to seek government jobs. They will not clear interviews in private jobs. So you give them a quality education which is equal to everybody, and then they will find, we will reach a point where we won't need reservation, but we have to reach there. We have to cut through the narrative. We have to keep doing our best. Yes, Sam, I think you wanted to enter in.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Sam, I think maybe we can summarize. I think I have one last question from LinkedIn. Very interesting question from Venkata Ramana Jagannatha Iyer. What a joke. Thanks. Got disgusted with the idea of Congress with just the caste focus. No uniting force here. The name says it, but still, yeah, I don't know. I can respond to it. But Sam, we have discussed a lot. I think an interesting set of discussions. I think we are at the end of the show. You want to summarize or pass some comments, opinion about the discussion? Go ahead, Sam. Sam, you
I
want to?
would just say that we need to change the mindset. It's a big job. It is the job of every individual. How could I not respect some other person? They are as good as I am. They are my, colleagues, neighbors, family members, friends, and don't even bother about what caste they are from or what religion they follow. I think it's a mindset. It's all about respecting other human being without really looking at their background. It's not a big deal, but it is a very big deal because people are so biased and they all want to protect their own territory, whether through religion or through caste or through money, power. Okay. Ultimately, they want to preserve their position because they want to access more power and more profits. So if you don't have this idea of sharing, caring, loving, respect, dignity that Periyars of the world talked about in the past, it won't make a difference. No amount of regulation, no amount of facilities and investment would show up if we don't change minds of the people. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam. I think that's a great summary. I think we had a great discussion. I just want to maybe highlight few
I
points.
would like to
Yeah,
address that
yeah,
Mr.
of course.
Iyer
Yeah.
in the group, because that Mr. Iyer is it is that category of people which is dominating the narrative on reservation today. Mr. Iyer also needs to be brought to the table and their issues addressed. That's the problem. Most of the Tamils in Tamil Nadu suffered because of the reservation policy. The upper caste people, of course, the low caste benefited, but the upper caste suffered because they think they didn't get the jobs which they deserve because of their education. My only answer is that, to that we need to increase the jobs and increase the schools, which we are not doing. As long as the upper caste sees that, okay, the scheduled caste is getting something a little extra, but it's not from my plate, I think we will have a successful reservation.
I have a counter actually. I let Dr. Soma Ilangovan counter this narrative which has been built for so long that Brahmin spies were taken away. Maybe Dr. Soma Ilangovan, do you want to answer, respond
They
to
were
that?
made to feel that way. It may not
Yeah,
have been
yeah,
taken,
correct,
they
correct.
were made
Not
to feel that
true.
way.
Yeah. Soma, you want to?
Yeah, I like a question. I would like to ask a question to Sam Petroda.
Go ahead, please.
The IITs, all these guys making multi-millions, they use the affirmative action and the minority contract with the government to make money here, but they are laughing at us for asking our due share. What do you think about that?
Hypocrisy.
That is the problem. The guy who is asking a question, he's the biggest hypocrite. Let him look around and see who is he going to treat as a equal. Is he going to treat me as a equal, or his brother, or his cousin, or his friends? Would we treat him as equal? That is the problem. Social justice, all we are asking is,
And also,
guys, we are
when
equal.
we talk,
And
yeah, and
women,
also
you,
when we
we,
talk about
all are
increasing the
equal.
pie,
Get that in your mind and say we are equal and we don't have any problem, mister. Thank you.
Good.
so also the issue of increasing the pie is that those who are in power want bigger and bigger piece of the pie.
Yeah.
It's about sharing and caring. Whatever you have. Okay, we have seen it in the past. I mean, economy pie has increased. Where did it go?
No, the
The
government
guys
jobs,
in
the
power
government
want to
jobs are
take
being
bigger
cut down.
and bigger piece of the pie.
The government jobs are being cut down and the government institutions are disappearing. So the reservation pie is reducing. So, where do you go? When the government jobs are reducing, both sides suffer.
I
But
want
it's
to.
not just about government jobs. I think government job is a small piece of the puzzle. The puzzle is much bigger. Puzzle is more about community involvement. Puzzle is more about local development. Anyway, we can have a longer discussion.
Longer discussion on that.
In fact, Ramkumar, you have any question for Sam? Quickly.
No, so I just want to emphasize one more thing there. Like the person who said the caste, ask him that, hey, whether have you humiliated anyone in your life based on the caste, and just answer yourself rather than doing the show of your hypocrisy on the public forum. There, caste is the reality, and that this inequality, all crisis, in the Indian society is happening because of the caste. You cannot ignore. Ignoring a bitter truth, okay, is better. You just swallow it and let the people fix the problem there. And I just want to quickly summarize the Paramavada also, that what we should do there. So there are good things there, but you have to win the trust of the people, because whenever my friend or some relative ask me that, hey, where do we want to support, to whom we elect as the leaders there, I said, okay, see the Rahul Gandhi, now he's the new person, because when I listened him last year in the Santa Clara, my perspective was changed. He's very, very, like well informed person to the ground level there. But they ask, hey, during the last time also Congress said that in the private sector, because when the jobs are disappearing, we don't own the land, nothing there, where we do the job there. And Congress said they will be doing the reservation in the private sector. They did not do. So maybe this is the time that at the states where Congress is ruling, it starts showing some result to win the trust back there, because people need the Congress. That is the reality right now. They have tried many, many fragments and everywhere there, but again, somehow the trust is not there yet. At least in the states wherever there is a government, they should start showing some kind of result there.
In
That
fact,
is very
I
much.
personally want to thank the entire Dalit community across the country. For example, Tol Tirumavalavan of Vidalai Chirthigal in Tamil Nadu, and even Prakash Ambedkar of Maharashtra. I think all of them are just throwing themselves behind India Alliance and Rahul Gandhi and Congress is phenomenal. I think unheard of. I don't know how Congress will be paying back for this courtesy and then trust. Hopefully, I think we will win on June 4th, despite all this rigging and bunch of all this manipulation, both mind as well as the grassroots, what BJP is engaging with. But I will let Frank Huzur, do you have any questions? Go ahead.
Sorry to bother, brother. Of course, Rahul Gandhi has become Nyay Odha today, and credit, of course, goes to mentor like Sam Pitoda sir. I have a point to make, like reservation in private sector. This is the crying need of the hour, as Dr. Ramkumar sir just said. This is on everyone's mind today, especially the aspirational segment of OBC and SC. And we have to look into it, because the way government jobs have evaporated, disappeared massively, like almost close to 1 million jobs because of the sell-off of the national levels, PSUs. Reservation in private sector has to become the cornerstone of our social justice and diversity mission. A diversity commission is constituted post 4 June government formation. We have to give it a push. So this is my humble request. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Frank. In fact, I'll actually try to chime into that. Try to chime into that. Now itself, I'll make this disclaimer. Like how the entire right wing, starting from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's on the road, who is trying to spin each and every word of Sam Pitroda and people like us for their own narrative. Whatever we speak, I think they don't want to take the contest and they don't want to show the whole thing, and they are spinning off. Even the conversation right now, what we are talking, how can there be even equity and justice even in the private sector? They are going to spin it off. They are going to say, I'm going to call Narendra Modi. Hello, Modi, you are going to say this and speak this in your next campaign, saying that Congress is thinking about bringing equity and reservation for private sector, something like that. They are going to keep spinning the stories. We are not worried. People are trusting us. I think that is the reason there is a huge amount of trust and action in the ground, which is swelling. And I think everybody is appreciating that the wind is on our side. Let us continue, keep working, and then see how this things goes. Looking forward to talk to you guys in another show. Thank you. Thanks all for taking time out and joining. We have 400 people. Go ahead, Soma Ilangovan.
I want to end with a positive note. We have come a long way. The future is social justice and humanism. Nobody can stand in front of us. The force will wash out those guys who are against us, and we should keep continuing our job and spread the message. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, everybody. Looking forward to meet you guys with another topic next week. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.